Angry Birds was the big thing in the early 2010s. Alongside Minecraft, these two game series were a huge part of my childhood. I still have a couple of games on CD-ROMs, an Angry Birds towel, Angry Birds mug. I'm attached to Angry Birds. So imagine my surprise when a couple of months ago I went on Google Play, searched Angry Birds, and there was almost nothing left. No Angry Birds Epic, no Angry Birds Go, no Angry Birds Rio. At least I still have my Angry Burger. What happened here? Where are all the classic Angry Birds games? Why are only the Candy Crush Saga Match 3 Your Mom's on level 700 shitpost games left? Well, I will answer that question. But the video could be a little bit longer, right? It's the year 2003. In the mythical country of Finland, three boys, Nicholas Head, Kim Dickert, and Jarno Mäkeväinen, attended a mobile game development contest at Assembly Demo Party. In the contest, these guys made a game called King of the Cabbage World, which won the contest. They realized that they are pretty good at this making games thing, so they decided to make their own company, called Reload. Though the name didn't really stick. They renamed the company to Rovio in 2005. Now, there's a really important thing to remember here. Rovio was a mobile game company, in a time when mobile phones looked like this. Mobile gaming was a lot different than what it is now. Nowadays, playing on phones is playing like on anything else, but in 2005, mobile gaming was this. Rovio made over 50 games during 2003 to 2009, but nothing was working. Nothing was creating enough money to keep the company afloat. But in 2009, Rovio's 52nd game was released, Angry Birds. Angry Birds came on phones at the perfect time. The iPhone had just released, everyone had it, and it had touchscreen, and it had touchscreen controls. And it had touchscreen. You used the fucking fingers. A big part of Angry Birds was launching the birds from a slingshot at different things, and using your finger was just perfect for that. Angry Birds wasn't only launching birds, they all had different abilities, and they all had their material that they were good at destroying. You win the level when you have killed all the pigs that are hiding into structures. The goal is to get 3 stars. The more structures you destroy, the more score you get. More score means more stars. All this came together and created the masterpiece that 2009 Angry Birds is. Now, Angry Birds didn't immediately fly off the shelves, no. Angry Birds was just another game in Rovio's catalog. Until 2010. Half a year after Angry Birds had released, people finally realized how good the game was, and they started playing. Everyone was playing. After some time, there was no one in the modern world that had not heard about Angry Birds. Often when something like this happens, it lasts for maybe a week or two, a month at maximum. Angry Birds was the #1 game on the App Store for 9 months. Rovio was finally profitable. What were they gonna do next? Franchise time. More games, plushies, loads, a theme park, I've been there, a movie in the works. Anything and everything was made Angry Birds. Half of Rovio's income was merchandise. During early 2010s, Rovio released many spin-offs to the original Angry Birds. Space, Seasons, Friends, 2 Star Wars games, and this piece of shit. They also made Bad Piggies, a completely different game to every other Angry Birds game. But if you asked me what my favorite 2010s Angry Birds game was, I would instantly know what to say. Angry Birds Go. Story time. I saw the trailer for Angry Birds Go probably a couple of months before it released, and it was the first game I was actually waiting for. I was on 1st grade at the time. I remember waiting the whole day just thinking about the game and finally getting home in the evening to play it. Probably one of the best memories I have of those times. Angry Birds Epic was also one of my favorites. The first RPG I've ever played, and if it was still on the App Store, I would be playing it. Angry Birds Toons was not a game, but a TV series. Again, I could tell stories from when I watched the first episodes, but we need to move on. 2014-15, things were going downhill. Go and Epic were good games, and very popular too, but for some reason they weren't making money. Rovio was losing money, and fast. Profits were down 75%, hundreds of employees had to be fired, stuff like that. So Rovio thought of one thing to save their company. Angry Birds 2. I wish I could tell stories from when I first heard about this game on the radio, on the fucking car radio, and the pain I had to go through to download it. But I just gotta focus. Focus, goddammit! Angry Birds 2 was the same old formula of shooting birds from slingshots towards pigs, but with some new elements and a new coat of paint. Now you probably noticed, if you have been paying attention, that Angry Birds 2 isn't the second Angry Birds game, but that doesn't really matter. It was named Angry Birds 2 to show people the future of Angry Birds. Then they released Angry Birds Pop. Angry Birds Pop was different, to say the least. It's made in the style of a cheap, easy to play cash grab game that a studio of 5 people put together in a couple of nights. You're not even slinging birds anymore, you're just slinging random colored balls towards other balls, and when they hit each other, they pop. It's weird, but nothing too bad. Hopefully they don't make that a trend in the future.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
2016, the Angry Birds movie. Again, wishing to someday tell the story of me finding this out on some random newspaper. The Angry Birds movie wasn't really critically acclaimed, but critics are never fun anyways. Like, have you seen this movie? It's probably one of the best kids movie ever produced. Yes, 5 out of 10. In 2016 they released some games too. Angry Birds Evolution, which is indeed a game, and Angry Birds Blast, a match 3 game like Candy Crush Saga. 2018-2019, more of the same. Angry Birds Movie 2, more match 3 games, more pop games. Now time for the big one. In the middle of 2019, Rovio deleted almost all of their old Angry Birds games like Go, Epic, Space, and even the original Angry Birds. In 2020, people realized and started making noise. Rovio announced that they removed the old games because they didn't want to update the old games to be on the newer devices. In 2021, Rovio said that they will work on getting the games back to the app stores, and in 2022 they released Rovio Classics AB, a recreation of the 2009 Angry Birds, selling for like $1. Are you realizing it yet? Rovio absolutely has the resources to update their older games, but they want people to play their new and exciting match 3 pop games. When people found out, Rovio quickly said, oh yeah, we don't want to spend the resources to update the games. That didn't help, so they quickly remastered the old 2009 Angry Birds and charged money for it, even though, to my knowledge, it was free before. Also, they only remastered the 2009 Angry Birds and nothing else. There was no Angry Birds Go, no Angry Birds Epic, no Space, no Star Wars 1 or 2, no nothing. Rovio and Angry Birds are in a really bad state right now. Even after making games only for money, it's not enough. They might be able to save the situation by releasing the old games, or Angry Birds Epic 2, or Go 2, or even maybe Angry Birds 3, but I don't think they will do that. So, what happened to Angry Birds? Aside from the match 3 shitpost games, I think Rovio and Angry Birds just got too big. They thought they could do anything with their stuff and people would buy it. It was true in the early days when people consumed anything related to Angry Birds, but after 2015 the peak of Angry Birds was behind. Rovio didn't think with its head, it just thought about money. So yeah, greed, money, that's what happened to Angry Birds. Have you guys seen these Angry Birds 2 ads? This basically proves my point that they were thinking that they can do anything with their IP. In this ad, the pigs, for the first time in the series, win by eating the eggs, and the birds get revenge by eating the pigs. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Why? Anyway, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share to your friends, comment other games I should do videos on. Watch my other videos where I explain what happened to different games. I'm out.